Hey Metal, it's a Schmier from Destruction, and you're watching CMS TV, the best metal.
I did go pick up a rental car from Enterprise.
Okay.
And you know what? Enterprise used to be, one of the more top-notch car rental places.
Mm-hmm.
They were on a real roll there for a while, and their service was, pretty good, and their cars usually were pretty good and pretty clean,
Sure.
and the service was good and stuff. So, my insurance is paying for us a couple of weeks of rental, right? And so they gave me a choice of places to pick up the rental, and I was picking it up out of Hammond, Indiana, which is right next to where I work.
Okay.
And so I called the rental place, or actually they called me because my insurance company, made the arrangements, and
Sure.
so representatives from there called and said, "Hey, we got this order for a car, blah, blah, blah. When are you going to come pick it up?" And I said, "Well, I thought you guys had pickup service," because they did, or they do. At least last time I used them for rental.
Sure.
And I said, "I thought you guys had like pickup service. You don't offer that anymore?" He goes, "Oh, well, yeah, we do." And I said, "Well, can you come pick me up?" And he says, "Well, where are you?" So I told him the address, and he typed it in. He goes, "Hang on a minute." He goes, "Yeah, my manager says I can't do that."
Well,
I said, "Well, why not?" He goes, "Well, because it's across the state line."
fuck off.
I said, "Really?" It's literally, I mean, I could throw a rock across the state line.
Oh, this wasn't from your house? This was
No,
from
this
the
was my office.
work?
Yeah, from my office.
Brother.
Yeah, I know.
So they would have come to your house, which is probably 45 minutes.
No, they're not from the Hammond office.
Okay.
But they try to get you, as close of a office to wherever it is you are, whether it's your house or your office or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was the closest one, and it was just 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Nope, can't do that."
Did you get on the phone with the manager and say, "Well, how much are you giving me off since you're not giving me the service you advertised?"
So a coworker of mine decided to drop me off over at this place.
Okay.
Dude, this place was a dump. I mean, I could not believe this was Enterprise. This place was just a dump.
Right.
And when everything in there is fenced off, when they got it completely fenced around the parking lot and everything's fenced off, it's like, maybe this isn't the best part of it.
Right.
So I get this car, which was like I think it was like a Nissan
Sentra or
something like that, 52,000 miles on this thing.
Okay.
And so the girl who's checking me in with the car and everything, I get in the car and she goes, "Well, here's the waiver, no pets, no smoking, no this, no that."
Right.
I get this car. This car reeked of weed.
Of course it did.
It just reeked of weed.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "I thought there was no smoking in this car." And she goes, "Yeah, I know. Some people they don't pay attention to that. And, we charge them the $300 cleaning fee and yada, yada, yada,
Well, mark it on your fucking form that it smells like weed.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was the only car that they had at the time. So I took it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So this car, the windows on the interior were just filmy like weed oil. You know what I mean? It's just filmy. And I said, "I thought you guys were supposed to clean these cars." I said, "Did you clean the windows with a grease pencil?" and the rear view mirror just had like a film on it. I mean, it was just a disgusting car. So I had it for 2 days. I'm on my way to work. And all of a sudden I hear on the passenger side,
Oh boy.
I'm just like, the fuck is that? So I
Right.
pull off the side of the road. I'm looking under the car, looking in the wheel well, I can't find anything. I didn't see anything obvious. So I start driving again. I don't hear it. Then all of a sudden I start hearing this flapping again. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not stopping. So and I could just feel it rattling. So I get to my office and I look under there on the passenger side, and there's a plastic floor pan cover.
Okay.
That just came loose.
Fell off.
It was flapping in the wind is what it was, you know.
Lovely.
So I called Enterprise, and I told them, I said, hey, yeah, exactly. There's someone in the trunk. I wouldn't be surprised. And so I told the guy what happened to it, and he goes, well, can you bring it back? I said, well, why don't you bring me another car instead of inconveniencing me?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, we don't have anybody. You're just going to have to bring it here. You know, I'm just like, wow, what happened to the service of Enterprise? I don't know if you ever rented from them.
I have, yeah.
And they were always really good.
They were always pretty good. I've had my issues with them too. So, you know, they pretend. They're like the pretender to being good. Yeah, Hertz is still the king.
Yeah.
I mean, Hertz is still the king, but nobody wants to go to Hertz because their cars cost more.
Right, of course. Yeah. So anyway, I was able to take the car back over there and get it switched out. But I was there for over an hour
to switch out a car.
Just to switch out a car.
Which should have been, here's some keys, sign here, out.
Yeah, it should have been that way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't have anything clean. We gotta get one that was returned today and get it in and get it cleaned. And
yeah, well, you didn't do that the last time I took the car, you fuck.
That's exactly what I said. I said, well, the last car I had, well, you didn't do a very good job with that one. You know, it was just terrible.
Jesus,
man. So I was just like, wow, the quality of service. And again, it could just be this location, because I don't know what other locations do, but
well, you know that location. No, would you want to work there?
No, of course not.
Talk about an area that's likely to get robbed.
Yeah,
a fucking car rental place. I wouldn't want to work there.
Yeah. So, lesson learned. So if and when I ever need a rental, I certainly won't at least go to that office. Let's just put it that way. But I've rented, I can't tell you, at least a dozen times from Enterprise over the years, and I've always had, pretty good service. Never had an issue. The cars were always fairly new. They were always clean. The service was pretty good. So I never had any issue. But boy, this was ugh.
Well, ever since COVID, service in general is just shit.
Yeah, well, I agree with that.
I mean, it just doesn't exist. COVID basically told everybody that they can be a shithead and it doesn't matter because there's so few people that are willing to do the jobs.
Yeah.
That they'll just do the bare minimum. And they'll accept the bare minimum to keep them. It's like that in any service thing that you go to. This is going to sound stupid and white guy problems and all the, all the above stuff that you want.
Right.
But I have with my car, there's a car wash place up the road.
Right.
And I have like the year-long subscription or whatever to get the car washed. So I get the car washed pretty much every week. It's part of my routine. On Mondays, I have to go to the bank. So I go to the bank, then I go get my car washed, then I go home.
Sure.
And it's rare. You know me. Taking care of a car is very rare.
Right.
So for me to be doing that, and I've been doing it now for 4 or 5 years. It's not like it's something new. I've been literally doing it for years at this point. Well, I was over there, I don't know, maybe a month ago or so. And this is such a small thing and it shouldn't bother me at all, but it did. When you pull up, they come and they give you a new air freshener. A little window air freshener.
Right, right.
So I went, the kid looked at me, didn't bring me an air freshener. And I rolled my window down and I said, dude, could you bring me an air freshener? Because, I want it in my car because it keeps my car smelling fresh.
Right.
He gives me this. Like,
you're putting them out, damn it.
he's standing next to a fucking counter with 1,000 of them on it.
Right, of course.
It's 3 steps away from my car,
right.
but I guess I took him out of his rhythm
Right.
of waving me in and telling me to put it in neutral. It's like, God damn it, you piece of shit. I just want the air freshener. It's part of the $50 a month I'm paying to get my goddamn car washed. How about that, fuckwad? Give me my air freshener.
Right.
And it shouldn't bother me at all, but it does.
Yeah.
Because I paid for it.
Of course.
I paid for it, and it is a little perk to making my car a little bit less fucking awful to drive in.
Yeah, I agree with you that, since the pandemic, customer service and just things in general have deteriorated, significantly, so there's just no, no pride in workmanship or anything anymore.
Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show, Chris Aiken Presents, and the Seth Williams Show, straight from the uncensored heart of the CMS network. We've just been crowned a certified Rumble creator, and that means we're bringing the heat. All our shows, commercial-free, baby. Advance episode drops sometimes months before the normal release, so you're not stuck waiting. You'll get all this plus exclusive content for Rumble Premium subscribers that'll blow your mind. And with Rumble Premium, you'll get every CMS Network show and all of Rumble's other videos with no ads and no fluff. This is our official home, Rumble. It's raw, powerful, and unfiltered. You want in? Just hit us up at rumble.com/register/classic metal show to sign up for free commenting, chat live, and just your ability to join the chaos of all of our shows. Then while you're there, swing by any of our videos, smash that Rumble Premium button, and level up. Subscribe now. Don't sleep on this. Hit the link in the description.